from the Department of Communication in Philipsburg. This is a special edition of Inside Government with Cedric Peterson.
To our audience here at home and around the world, you are now Inside Government. In this edition of the program, we are wrapping up the series of our journey within government, visiting the various departments that render you, the people of St. Martin, service. And the Public Service Center is back with us in fine form. We have section head of the Philipsburg branch, Ms. Fabiana Vanderpool-Arnell, and we have first-time guest and the youngest member of the team at PSC. I have to say, it's the record. Youngest member, correct?
Yes.
You are holding that title.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program Ms. Shanika Playgrove. She is the senior receptionist at Public Service Center, and she's the great smile that greets you when you come into the building. Ladies, it's great to have you in the program. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Fabiana, it's great to have you back to wrap up the series. It has been quite the journey, visiting the various departments throughout government, getting some insight at the most basic introductory level of the services rendered to the people of St. Martin. So on behalf of all of us here at the Department of Communication, we want to thank Public Service Center first and foremost for helping us get through the interviews that we've been able to conduct. So thank you so much.
No thanks needed, but thank you as well for allowing them the opportunity to and the platform to come and share the information to the public.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to start off this program first with Ms. Playgrove. It's great to have you, and I'm so excited. I'm smiling because, again, youth, the future, that's what you represent, and you are the front line at Public Service Center when a customer comes in. I want to first ask you, what is the amount of time that you've already dedicated in service to the people of this country? How long have you been working?
Well, officially under the government, it would be 3 years
Okay.
that I'm working, but unofficially 4 years. Because can I say the story?
Yeah, by all means, share the story. Yeah.
So I worked at the Public Service Center back in high school under the BOP program, which is organized by the Department of Youth. So I did about a month first at the reception desk, and then I asked for an extension, which I then got trained by the Customer Information Branch. A couple months after that, I then applied under a job agency, which then notified me that the Public Service Center was looking for a temporary receptionist at the time. So I applied, interviewed, and I got a job. So working there for a couple of months, I then got notified again that the vacancy was now open, so I can apply. So I applied, interviewed, waited, and then I got the job, and then I'm here now, 3 years.
3 years in, man, and I'm sure it's been quite the experience. I want to see service through your eyes as a young person starting your working career. What does service mean to you?
For me, service is all about helping one another without looking for something else in return. That's my simple
Take on that. Yeah, most powerful response. Thank you for that. Fabiana, I didn't get a chance to ask you that in the first interview that we had alongside your colleague who represents the Simpson Bay branch as its section head, Miss Bercelia Davis. But service for you over the years. Just remind our viewers and listeners, how long have you been a civil servant?
You really want me?
Yeah, I want to get into your history. You gotta
27 years.
Wow, congratulations.
27 years.
This year marks
27
years.
2024.
Nice.
And it's a great journey.
Yeah.
I must say, it's a great journey. I started out in the education sector. I'm an educator by profession, and I've grown on the various levels within government since then. And I'm here 27 years after.
Excellent. Great. And then hopefully we got a few more good years so that we can accomplish more together as we are closing out our career. Ladies, I want to get into, again, our subject and expand specifically on the areas that your discipline within the Public Service Center. Take us through that customer experience. When a customer or a returning customer comes to the government building, take us through that experience of what the front desk and reception desk experience is like.
Okay, so when they do come to the reception desk, they're always greeted with a smile and a warm welcome.
Absolutely.
So from there, we then ask them, how is it that we can assist them? So then we ask them a few questions. Sometimes they would need directions. Sometimes they want to make an appointment to see a certain minister. So from there, we will then give them the answer to the question that they have, or we transfer the call to someone that they want to speak to. Same goes with the phones. we would answer the phone by saying, "Thank you for calling the government building. How may I assist you?" From there, we'll do the same thing. Sometimes they want to make an appointment to see a minister, or we'll transfer the call to someone they would like to speak to.
Okay. The digital visitor system plays a major role in that. Take us through that process of how it actually works and functions to make sure that your job goes as smoothly as possible.
Okay, so I'll show you 2 points of views. So from the person working at a government building, their point of view is that they would first have to email the management of PSC with their request for us to pre-register someone. So they'll need to put their name, send the date of which time and when it's keeping, and how many persons. From there, the reception desk will then pre-register the persons, and then we will send the department an email letting them know that they have been pre-registered and to send the persons the email of their QR code.
Okay.
From the customer service now point, we would then let them know that, they will then get an email stating that they have been pre-registered and they will get a QR code of the day they have to show up for their appointment.
QR code is a part of this process.
Yes.
Okay. How have the public been acclimating to that? Just as a side question.
It's been going good, actually. They'll get it through their email. They would show up saying, "Hi, I'm here for my appointment," and then they will show us the QR code. And from there, we'll go run an assistant. It's pretty simple.
And I'd like the distinction between the fact that this digital visitor system applies 2 forms. So there's the internal aspect,
Yes.
and then there is the aspect for the general public itself. Okay. Now, how does the pre-registration work again, just for the meeting? How does that work?
For which part?
For the persons that are coming to the building.
Okay, coming to the building, they will then get an email saying that they have been pre-registered, which with that email as well, they'll have a QR code in it. When they come to the building, they'll just say that they have a meeting with so-and-so, and from there, they'll let us know that they have to scan their QR code. We'll come and run on a system so that they can scan their code to the machine.
The registration system is also when persons come to the building, basically that do not have an appointment, and they show up for a meeting or they would like to see someone, and then that civil servant or person is ready to meet them at that moment, they are then registered on the spot.
Okay.
So we have the pre-registration and then we have the on-spot registration. The on-spot registration is basically the customer will then enter their name into the system. They will also put the name of the person they're visiting. That civil servant will get a notice in their email that customer A is here to see them. The reception desk will also call the person first and foremost. So if you come to the building, I'm going to take you to an actual scene. You come to the building and you would like to see Miss Shanika. The reception desk will contact Miss Shanika. Miss Shanika, Mr. Peterson is here to see you. Are you able to meet with him? Yes, I am. Then the reception desk staff will then go around and assist you with inputting your information, your first and your last name, and then you will then send it to the email goes to Shanika. Shanika is then notified, and then you will then go through, you take your photo, you will then be able to access via security and go through to the person that you're seeing. So we have 2 parts of the digital system.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for this first segment establishing exactly what the front desk service is like. I'm going to get into the second segment. We're going to take our question concerning the processing of documents, how that takes place. So stay with us. You're inside government. I'm having a conversation with the folks of the Public Service Center as this is their 10th year of service to you, the people of St. Martin, in 2023. Stay tuned. More with them coming up right after the break.
During the hurricane season, a potential tropical cyclone can produce rainfall that can cause flash flooding and rockfalls. Stay away from flood-prone areas during heavy rainfall, such as A.T. Illich Road roundabout in Philipsburg, Arch Road from the Bible Baptist Church to Pool Bar to Snore, Beacon Hill Road from Sunset Bar and Grill until the beginning of White Sands Road, Belvedere Border Point in Belvedere, Billy Folly Road in front of the Atrium Hotel in Pelican, Emma Plain in the area of Jump Up Casino in Philipsburg, L.B. Scott Road from Emilio Wilson Park up to the Cake House Supermarket, Rhine Road, also known as Mullet Bay Road after Sonesta Maho Beach Hotel to the entrance of Coopercoy, Welcalacan Road, Cay Hill from Welcalacan Road roundabout until the Low Cay roundabout, Well Road, Wellington Road, and Orange Grove Road in Cole Bay. Rousquin Boulevard in front of Fairway Supermarket and the intersection by St. Martin Port Services, Point Blanche, and Zakers Gut from Petro Plus gas station until the Seventh-day Adventist Church. For more information on how you can keep yourself and your family safe this hurricane season, visit stmartingov.org/hurricane. This public service announcement is brought to you by the government of St. Martin.
Hi, everyone. If you're just tuning in, I'm having a conversation with the team at Public Service Center. Representing is Mrs. Fabiana Fantapool-Arnell. She's section head of the Philipsburg branch and senior receptionist, Miss, I'm not going to marry her off too quickly, Miss Shanika Blagrove. Thank you so much, ladies, once again. As we get into the second segment, I want to talk now about the booking of documents and how that process takes place at the front desk at PSC. Ms. Blagrove, take us through that concept there of how do people come in to the building and book their documents as efficiently as possible?
Okay, so when booking in documents, persons have to remember that they need to always walk with a copy. It's crucial that they have their own proof that they submitted a document. That's number one. And number two, the hours that we are open for booking in documents are between 8:30 to 3 o'clock, Monday to Friday. Okay?
Yeah, that timing thing is very critical. If you
Yes.
don't know that, it's very important to understand that there is a time when these services are rendered. So thank you for highlighting that. Continue.
And also for the letter that they do bring in, there's certain points that we do look for. So we're looking that they have the respective ministry, that they do have an updated date, so nothing too far back.
Okay.
We're looking that the body of the letter along with the attachments are accurate and that they have a updated contact information such as an email address or a phone number, and that they have originally signed in blue ink as well.
Yeah, okay. So it's a very specific color that has to be used when penning your signature.
Correct.
Okay. All
From there, we will then sign and stamp their copy in the front, give it back to them, and then we'll stamp our letter that we take in at the back of the letter.
Okay. As it relates to bids, tenders, that's another system that apparently happens also at the front office or front desk for yourself. Take us through that process. How does, first of all, let's establish bids and tenders. Let's define that. What are they? And again, people who know, they know, but for the young person who might be interested in doing something like this in the future, let's start with explaining the most basic level. Bids and tenders, what are they?
Those are basically when a project is coming about by a respective ministry or department. Normally, the department will or the ministry will place an ad in the newspapers where there are persons or businesses who are interested in participating in the project are requested to bring in a bid. They're given a terms of reference. Sometimes you have to pay for the terms of reference, sometimes not. Once you make the purchase, you will then go to the reception desk. Once you pay for the terms of reference, you will go to the reception desk, and that's where the staff at the reception desk comes in, and then Ms. Blagrove can explain the procedures from there.
Okay. Take us through the process then, Ms. Blagrove. What then follows after when it relates to the bids and tenders?
In regards to the bids and tenders, they first have to always, if it's coming from the departments in the government building, they need to always send in a request to the management of PSC. From there, they will then approve it and let the reception desk know that, hey, this is approved and you guys will need to start the process. So from there, we create a registration list of the bids and tenders. It'll have the name, the phone number, the time, and a place where we can stamp and sign for the bids and tenders. So when, for example, if they're paying for it, we would then take a copy of their receipt, stamp it, give it back to them, and then we will give them back the terms of reference for their self.
And then once that all gets through?
That then goes to the respective department. So someone is assigned to collect these documents. Those are the closed bids. We also have closed bids where persons are then invited to come to the bidding session, and that is where all persons who submitted a bid or for a specific project are invited to a session, and then all bids are open within the presence of everyone who participated. But all bids are received by us closed. Nothing can be received open. They have to be sealed, and then staff will sign for receipt as proof, and the person will sign for receipt as proof that it was submitted as well.
Fabiana, why is bids and tenders an important process for the government of St. Martin?
Keeping with the integrity of government, ensuring also that all persons, it's fair game for all businesses and all persons who are able to bid on a certain project or tender on a certain project. And that's being fair to the public. Basically, this is what it is. And also all companies that submit their bids, it's also fair for them to hear who submitted, how much they submitted for, and everyone knows exactly how it went, and then there's no blame game after. Basically, it's more a safety net for government. I would look at it as that everyone, it's open and transparent for all to see and know about.
Yeah, create opportunity equally for all who have that initiative and ambition to be able to render service for themselves via their companies. I understand that school buses also is a thing for you guys. I normally have this in my head that it's school bus issues normally falls under the Ministry of TIAT, but how does your ministry, this is being AZ, play a role at PSC when it comes to dealing with school buses, specifically school bus invoices, I believe?
Okay, so we are assisting the Department of Education with collecting the school bus invoices for the primary schools and high schools. Okay, this needs to be submitted to the reception desk between 8 a.m. to 8:30 and 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock p.m. Okay, they need to walk with the original invoices and a copy of the invoice as well. We stamp both and then give them back their invoices. So it goes.
And Fabi, this again cannot be confused with what happens at TIAT.
No.
Explain the difference, please, just so that the viewer and listener can fully understand.
TIAT is basically for the inspection of the buses, and the invoices are basically for school bus companies that are running the schools and making sure that they're picking up the students and taking them to and from schools and activities. So it falls under the school buses basically falls under two ministries. Where it comes to busing of the students, it's under the education ministry. And when it comes to the inspection of the buses and the number plate and not number plate, but basically being assigned a school bus, what do you call that?
Permission
permit,
to operate? Yeah,
a school bus permit, that falls under the economic licenses, which is under Ministry of TIAT.
Gotcha. St. Martin, I'm having a conversation with the representatives of Public Service Center, Mrs. Fabiana Vanderpool Arnell and Miss Shanika Blagrove. Stay with us. Coming up right after the break, we're going to get into the discussion as it relates to the transfer of your foreign driver's license if you are looking to get a local one and you're coming from overseas. More on this coming up right after the break. You're Inside Government.
St. Martin, the time to join the fight against heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and cancer is now. The Ministry of VSA, in collaboration with SZV and PAHO, are launching a nationwide health survey that's coming to a district near you. During the months of July to October, you may be chosen to participate by our fieldwork interviewers. Get near instant results for your blood pressure, cholesterol, BMI, and glucose. For more information, contact us via stepsurvey@stmartingov.org.
The Ombudsman is here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman is here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. Good governance is a must. This institution you can trust. Guardian of the Constitution, not one but more solutions for complaints against the government. Protectors of the citizens, promoting good governance in our friendly island, St. Martin. The Ombudsman is here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you. The Ombudsman, we're here for you.
The Ombudsman is the voice and protector of the people. Visit us at E. Camille Richardson Street, number 13 on the Police Station Road in Philipsburg.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are having a conversation and wrapping up our session with Public Service Center as we are talking about the 10th year of service rendered to you, the people of St. Martin, via the Public Service Center and the respective departments throughout government. And the series is now coming to an end. But we're going to get through the series of questions that we still have specifically for what you can experience at the front desk at Public Service Center. The transfer of foreign driver's license. A person coming to St. Martin, they want to take their current foreign driver's license and transition to the local. Explain that procedure first and foremost. And then we'll also explain, is that available to every country that comes to St. Martin? But first, take us through that process. How does that work when it comes to the foreign driver's license transferring to local?
Okay, so for a start off, they need to type up a letter addressed to the Minister of Justice and carbon copy the civil registry with the request for transferring their driver's license.
Okay.
Along with the letter, they need to have a copy of the driver's license, front and back, a copy of their ID and passport, and a copy of their residence permit as well. Certain countries need to walk with the declarations, such as Jamaica, India, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and we recently added the Venezuela country as well. Okay, so when they have all those requirements, they then come to the reception desk and we'll stamp and copy their own as well.
All right, so the answer to that question concerning every country, the answer is no. There are specific countries. So finding out which country is a list. There's a list there that is available.
On the requirement list, they have a list of countries as a part of the traffic convention that they can look for.
All right. Explain the intake of documents with the DIV system. First of all, what is DIV and how does that help us when it comes to the intake of documents in our system?
So DIV stands for the Document Information and Records Department. So as I explained earlier, we do take in the intake of documents, but we also have an online software that we use to still put in those same documents online. So we put in the documents online in our software, and then we then stamp for receipt and then put our registration number at the back of the stamp as well. From there, a DIV officer comes in the afternoon to take the batch of documents that we do have, and then they will put it into their system as well. And then from there, they'll then distribute it to the respective departments.
Okay. Research. What if somebody wants to do research and find out, historical aspects of St. Martin? How, first of all, does this exist? And how does it work? Explain.
Okay, so yes, it does exist. We have a request form from the Department of Archives where they can fill out the form with their request. And then from there, the archive department will then contact them when their request is officially researched, and they can give it to them.
Okay. Is there a spot that we have allocated for that within the building when it comes to research documents?
Yes, it's a part of the DIV department as well.
The DIV department. Okay, DIV, we're coming for you guys next. Yeah? All right. So reminder, I would like to get into a reminder aspect right now where you guys also have a service as it relates to SZV. My SZV. I'm thinking, they play a role, maybe, I don't know, but correct me if I'm wrong. How does that work? Do we offer any type of connections there with regard to our SZV card distribution to the civil servants? Does PSC play a role?
Okay, so the Public Service Center no longer assists the HR department with the distribution of SZV cards. So everyone needs to sign up on the online portal for their My SZV, where they'll have access to their insurance card.
Wow, it's a good thing I asked.
Yes.
All right, so that's clear that the My SZV portal is the new direction that we have to take. So that's a key for civil servants to make note that they need to sign up as soon as possible to make sure that they're properly covered. As it relates to civil servants' appointments, let's get into that. Service to me, Fabi, as a civil servant, I want to know, how does that work? Just to make sure that, I can get through certain things because, I'm a busy guy. 8 to 5 is kind of tight. So what kind of services can be rendered to me as a civil servant, and how should I go about it?
The only service, unfortunately, that is available to civil servants are the services of the Civil Registry Department.
Okay.
We do not have any agreements with any other departments falling under the other ministries as yet. Some civil servants request service through the receivers department, but that has not yet been established.
Okay.
For civil registry department, they contact the civil registry via the internal number, and then a staff member will assist them, or they can also go to the customer information desk on our ground floor, on our service floor, and they can be assisted with a civil service appointment as well. The civil service appointment is at 8:10 in the morning. If you don't show up at 8:10 and you reach at 8:15, 8:20, your appointment is canceled, and then you'll have to rebook. That's an issue we have sometimes with civil servants. Yes, I'm going to come, and then they don't show up, and then they still want to be assisted. It doesn't work. And it's limited to 3 specific appointments per day. Okay. So imagine you have more than 1,500 civil servants, and you still have other civil servants that are not in the building that still ask for this assistance as well. Mm-hmm. So all of that is taken into consideration. And if you do not wish to be there at 8:10 in the morning, then you can go and make your appointment online via the normal online portal.
Which takes us right into my next topic concerning the appointment bookings, and giving you an opportunity once again, because again, repetition is the mother of retention, and people need to understand how the appointment bookings work. So providing you the opportunity now to once again reiterate how important it is and how to use the system efficiently.
The only service that is rendered by walk-in and a limited amount of 40 per day is a detailed registration form. And that's between 8:30 and I would say 8:45, because it's 40 persons. The first 40 people that are at the building, they are assisted. If you're number 41, you'll have to make an appointment. We also have the online service where you can collect 5 different documents. I believe it's a death certificate, it's the registration form, and some other different 5-minute, 10-minute services where they can pay for it online by using a credit card. You will get an AN number. You will get an email with your AN number and a receipt for your payment. You will come in within 24 hours thereafter and collect the document. Our booking system you can book your appointment at appointments.stmartengov.org, and the different departments are Labor Department, Civil Registry Department, Economic Licenses, VROMI. Those are the departments that you are able to book your appointments for. We no longer do the police record online. Also, that is now totally digital. So we no longer require you to book an appointment to come and apply for a police record. It is all now digital, and basically that's it. You have to show up at least 5 minutes before your appointment time, and you're given 5 minutes thereafter to be present. If you're later than that, then you have to rebook.
Gotcha. Ladies, we are running out of time, and I want to give everyone the opportunity to provide final words. Let's start with you, Ms. Blagrove. Final words to the public of St. Martin as we're closing out the show.
As I said earlier, please always walk with a copy when you're booking in your documents, when you're bringing your school invoice, bus invoices, anything of the sort when it comes to the reception desk. We are also every day trying to work out a better way how we can assist you efficiently as well, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. And Mrs. Fabiana Vanderpool Arnell, final words.
On behalf of the Public Service Center, I would like to thank DCOM for being here with us on this journey, and also the 11 departments that have passed through for this specific session and segment of informing the general public or informing St. Martin and beyond of our service departments that government provides service to the public of St. Martin.
And we invite all the other departments to take advantage of the same exact portal for them to get their information out. Ladies, thank you so much for being a part of this edition of Inside Government.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And to our radio listeners, television viewers, and online viewers, thank you for tuning in and being a part of this edition of the program. If you've missed my conversation with the Public Service Center or the individuals, members who have come in via the series, be sure to get video on demand at facebook.com/SXMGOV. Subscribe to the YouTube channel of the Government of St. Martin at youtube.com/Government of St. Martin. And for audio playback, be sure to tune into St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9 FM throughout the course of the day. On behalf of my colleagues at the Public Service Center at both Philipsburg and Simpson Bay, and of course all of us here at the Department of Communication, I'm Cedric Peterson. Thanks so much for tuning in.